Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We go harness racing on Saturday night at Albion Park, and it's a really good card of racing as well, highlighted by the Group 1 2-year-old feature, which is race number 7, the AP Gold Final. This is for graduates of the Australian Pacing Gold yearling sales last year. Cat King Cole, she's chasing another feature race victory, so that's her race to lose on Saturday night. She is deep in the red with Tab Right. Now, in this edition of Weekend Winners, I plan on catching up with Kylie Rasmussen, the driver of Cat King Cole, and Nathan Dawson. He's got another really strong book of drives coming through on Saturday night as well. So that's all in front of us in this edition of Weekend Winners. Group 1 racing at Albion Park on Saturday night. It's a 2-year-old feature as well. More on that race in just a moment. But joining us is Kylie Rasmussen, and she's online with us now. Kylie, appreciate the time.
Yeah, no worries at all, Chris.
We'll get to that 2-year-old feature in just a moment because you're in the hot seat there with the favourite Cat King Cole. Let's start with a couple of runners for Victorian trainer Colin Godden first. A couple of mares, and they're in form as well. AJ Breezy Rose steps out in race 4. This is a mare that you know well. She's more than handy, this mare.
Yeah, she's done a really good job since she's been up here. I really like her, and I thought that race Saturday night was really suitable for her.
It's a bad draw on paper, but it's a very winnable race though.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it looks dreadful on paper out there, but when you actually look at the field, I think she's as good as them, if not a bit better.
Yeah, I agree. 2,138 metres, no issues there?
I don't think so. She's raced over that before in there, and she ran a nice third. I think it was over the 2,100, a couple of starts back in there. No, I like her. She's got a bit of bottom to her, this girl.
Yeah. You missed out on the drive last week, but she was really good last Saturday night. Chased home will Harkin Dreamer mare. That's in super form. So if that type of form stacks up, she is going to prove very hard to beat.
Yeah, I think she will. She hasn't disgraced herself in town once yet, so no, she'll go really well, I think.
All right, the other runner for Colin Godden is Sport Mental. She's got gate 8, the inside of the second row over the mile. Not a bad draw, this one.
No, probably be a really quick run race, I'd imagine, that one. So if there's speed on, I think she'll be right in it.
Yeah, and that's the key, as long as there's that genuine tempo. But it looks like it is going to create tempo because Saucy Dreams probably only knows one thing, and that's to roll along. So being on the pegs is not the worst spot here.
No, I think it's probably one of the best spots to be. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad draw at all for her.
Okay, well, that's Sport Mental. Let's get to the big one now, which is race 7. This is the Albion Park Gold Final. Cat King Cole. First of all, last Friday, let's go back to the heat. She just did what she needed to do last week?
Yes.
Okay. You were happy with the way she ran up the home straight?
Yeah, very. Yep.
Okay. Is this her grand final? This is the last run before she goes to a break?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, definitely. She'll definitely have a break after Saturday night. It's been quite a long season for all the 2-year-olds. Yeah, so she's well and truly ready for a break.
Okay. When the barrier draw was held last Friday afternoon, barrier 1, was that music to your ears or would you prefer something else?
Chris, to tell you the truth, really it wouldn't have, because it was preferential draw fillies, it wouldn't have mattered really if she had drawn 1 to 4.
Okay. Are you happy with I Am Sparta being on your back?
I think... Yes, I am. I think it probably stops him being a bit of a nuisance early. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Okay. What about My Ultimate Levi? Were you surprised that he was able to get as close as what he did last Friday?
No, she was never in any danger, so I wasn't worried about what he did, no. No, she just left him when she went. Okay. I thought, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. You're the one that matters most because you're driving this filly. So you're looking for the Magnificent 7 here on Saturday night, 6 from 8. So far, everything's been pretty much perfect this campaign. Yeah, I can't complain. Like, you know, she's held together really good. Like I said, it's been a long campaign. She's growing so much, you know, she's just crying out for a break. But yeah, hopefully Saturday night we can finish off with a bang and then, yeah, she can have a rest. And just looking at that front row, do you think there's going to be any early pressure, and would she be able to absorb that pressure if it did come? Chris, really I think she could. I know you probably haven't seen a really fast time from her, but that's not to say that she can't do it. I just can't see the point in doing it if you don't need to. Yeah. So yeah, I think she can, yeah. That makes perfect sense. Well, I just think once you lose a 2-year-old,
they're done for the season. There's no bringing them back once you lose them. So I just try to look after as much as I can.
Okay, well, you've done the job in super style so far. One more bridge to cross here on Saturday night. Hopefully it's another Group 1 win. As I said, it's been a perfect season so far. Really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you very much.
Nathan Dawson joins us to go through his book of drives for Saturday night. We've got Group 1 racing at Albion Park, and Nathan's going to be driving in that feature. We'll get to that in just a moment, but he joins us now. Nathan, appreciate the time.
Good to be on, Chris.
Crunch time. This is a very interesting race to kick off the card on the weekend. It's an open class race. Crunch time. Wow, he was awesome winning last week. What type of feel did he give you?
Yeah, he's going awesome at the moment, and he's loving racing and he's doing it well. So, I'd expect him to go pretty close again this week.
51.4 he clocked last week, and he looked like he did it fairly comfortably because he never really had any pressure being applied to him at any stage. So how did he feel at the line? Was there something still left in the tank?
Yeah, there was. We still had plenty left in the tank. I mean, we hadn't got the plugs out, and when he's got something to race, he gets into another gear. So it would have been interesting to have something up outside him, but hopefully this week, something there is, and he should run some pretty good time.
54.3 his last half last week. That's as good as you're going to run at Albion Park.
Yeah, you don't run much faster than that, but the scary thing is I think you probably could.
Okay, well, this is a different ball game on Saturday night. Similar type draw. You had the outside of the second row last week. You've got two off the second row here on Saturday night. You follow out Cardles from Heaven. He's okay, so how do you see yourself in that first 200 metres? Where do you want to be?
First 200, I don't really mind where we lob. At some stage, we're just going to send him round. He likes to race that style, so that's what we're going to do again. And, it looks like he should be pretty good in that type of field.
Do you think there's going to be a lot of early pressure? Black Sedans, Tommy Lincoln, Rock and Roll Icon, May wins best, and Colt 31 out in gate 7. Do you expect a lot of front-end pressure?
Yeah, I think there will. There should be a bit of speed on early, and then we'll try and get into the race once those settle a bit. But it's going to be a hot run race, and we might have to do a bit of work, but hopefully we can be there in the finish.
He did all the work last week, crunch time, but he can be set up, can't he?
Yeah, he can. He probably prefers to roll along, but even sitting out in the death doesn't worry him at the moment. So, he's at the mile, which is his ideal trip. So, I'm looking forward to this race.
Would you want to be on any other horse in this race apart from crunch time?
No, I wouldn't change him for any of them. He's a good horse, and he seems to be getting better each time. So, no, I wouldn't change him.
Yeah, fascinating race the first. Best of luck there with crunch time. Race 2, you've picked up the drive on Subtle Delight. Good pick-up drive as well because he's back in form. Not that he was out of form, but he's back in winning form. He was really good last week.
Yeah, he was. He was super. He looks like another type of race he could be competitive in. So when he's on song, he's a nice horse, and he looks like he's heading that way.
Is gate 5 a little sticky, though, on the weekend?
It is a little bit, but, he can make his own luck. He doesn't have to be driven one way. So, we just have to see how the race plans out, and then we'll try and work it out after that.
All right, well, that's Subtle Delight race 2. In race number 3, at West Point, you've got the drive on this guy. Is it a simple plan, foot down at the start, try and lead and go all the way?
I think so. I mean, that's how he's run most of his races. So we'll try and do the thing, but hopefully we can get somewhere a bit of a breather and try and get home a bit.
He does look the leader in this race, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think he looks like the leader, so it looks like his type of race, and if he's too good in the finish, that'll be good.
That last start placing, I thought it was more than okay. In your eyes, though, is that good enough to win this type of race?
I think so. I mean, he did a fair bit of work early, more than he'll probably have to do on Saturday night. So if he gets a little bit easier lead and he can keep rolling, he might be a bit stronger at the finish.
Is Casino Tommy likely to be on your outside applying pressure?
Yeah, I think so. He's probably the one that's going to be out there, but I think my horse will like a bit of company.
Okay. Race number 4, again, your partner up here with Ryan Vivas, Moresco. She's shooting for 3 in a row. She's been able to drop back to Redcliffe, get the winning form, get the confidence up again. She comes back to the big smoke. 2 off the second row. She's not out of this race.
No, I'd agree with you there. She's going well. Probably a little bit harder company, but she's got a nice type of draw there, so if she gets a bit of luck, she'll be there in the finish. Yeah,
mare's in form. You don't want to be dropping off. You normally stick with mares in form, and this mare is in really good form. 2,138 metres, no issue there?
I don't think so, not from the draw. Maybe if we were, out wide on the track, but it's a nice trailing draw, so we'll try and make the most of it.
Okay, let's go across to the big one, race 7. This is the Group 1 AP Gold Final. My Ultimate Levi is your drive. A runner-up last week behind Cat King Colt. Were you surprised that you were able to get as close as what you did with My Ultimate Levi to Cat King Cole last week?
Yeah, I was actually. Like, she's a good mare and she had a nice easy trip. So, she's going to run home a good 200, and to get that close, take a bit of ground off them was pretty good.
If you had barrier 8 and you were directly behind Cat King Cole, is it a completely different mindset for you?
I think so. You don't have to worry about where you're going to be. You're going to be close to behind the leader. So, yeah, I'd take 8 over 9 any day, but, 9's not the worst draw.
Cat King Cole, do you think she's going to cop any sort of pressure from the inside gate?
No, I don't think so. I think she's got too much respect, Most people think she's probably the one to beat, so they're trying to run into the placings.
Has your guy got better as the season's got deeper, My Ultimate Levi? Is he still on the up?
I think that's fair to say. I've done a few little gear changes with him, and, he seems to be getting better from them. But he pulled a bit last week, so we're going to go back to a bit of old gear, and hopefully that does the trick.
Okay, but you think that race has her to lose, Cat King Cole?
I think so. She's going to have to do something wrong to lose it, I think.
Okay. Good book of drives for you on the weekend. Which one do you look forward to most? Is it Crunch Time?
Yeah, Crunch Time is always exciting to drive, and he always runs a good race, so I think he's the one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race, that race, to kick off the card on Saturday night. Nathan, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
As always, a big thanks to Kylie Rasmussen and Nathan Dawson. Best of luck with their drives on Saturday night. We've got a 10-race program. Action starts at 5:43. Looking for a best bet. I think we've got to be patient. Wait for the last, and this might be value as well. Race 10, number 1, Majestic Ess Jay. This is the trotting race that ends the program. He's on the back up from Tuesday. Had a fairly tough run there on Tuesday. If he steps cleanly, he might easily give us sight here over the shorter trip. Some of these favoured runners have got big handicaps to contend with. So race 10, number 1, Majestic Ess Jay. Each way as well, as I said, we might get some value there about that runner in the last. If you are having a bet this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside at Albion Park this Saturday night.